2014 Gillette Home Run Derby at Target Field in Minnesota. Delayed by rain at the onset, but the aftermath was rather picturesque. Huge ovation for a former Twin and current Colorado Rocky Justin Morneau from the capacity crowd. And a big ovation as well for a current Twin, Brian Dozier, but he would be eliminated after round one. New bracket format this year, NL and AL batters on opposite sides, 4 rounds consisting of 7 outs. Past their current Twins greats, the first pitches, Dave Winfield, Paul Molitor, our own Jack Morris, and Joe Mauer. First up for the NL on Monday night was the Cincinnati Reds' Todd Frazier, and Frazier puts out a pair of home runs in the first round, and the furthest one of those going 427 feet. And next up for the NL was the captain, Troy Tulowitzki. He smacks 4 home runs in the first round, and the furthest of those 4 going 402 feet. Quite a stroke there by the Colorado Rockies all-star shortstop. Second up for the American League, the captain, Jose Bautista. He was 1 homer away from cracking double figures.
Wow, it's way back, and gone. Homer number 10.
His 10th and final one going 370 feet, but that fan will lament that misplay for quite some time. Robinson Cano loves what he sees, and then Robbie's dad, Jose, would pitch to Yasiel Puig. His first home run derby appearance, but it's one that Puig would rather forget. He was the only participant who did not homer on Monday night. Next up for the Orioles is Adam Jones, and he put on quite a show in round one. He had 4 home runs, and the furthest of those going 426 feet. Now it's time for the main event. Giancarlo Stanton of the Miami Marlins. Fans and players alike awaiting this. He was pitched to by his manager, Mike Redmond, and Stanton's 4th home run, quite a shot into center, projected at 476 feet. Andrew McCutchen beside himself, but Stanton was just getting warmed up.
This is a Minnesota blast. Oh, this is 2/3 of the way up in the upper deck. Wow.
Projected at 510 feet for the Marlins slugger. My goodness, indeed. He finished with a half-dozen first-round homers. Now it's Justin Morneau getting another warm ovation as he takes his hacks in the batter's box. Morneau put out a pair in round one, and the furthest going 409 feet. Next up for the AL is the defending champ from 2013, Yoenis Céspedes. Now he needs 1 homer down to his final out to force a swing-off with his teammate Josh Donaldson, and Céspedes comes through in the clutch as he finishes the first round with 3. In addition to the AL swing-off, we had one in the NL as well between Morneau and Todd Frazier. Frazier hit 1, but Morneau failed to hit 1, so he is eliminated as he tips his cap to the Minnesota fans who will always adore him, and it's Todd Frazier who advances on to round number 2. So back to the AL. It is Céspedes and Josh Donaldson. Donaldson hits 1 in his 3 swing allotment, but Céspedes doubles him up as he hits 2 in his 3 swings. Céspedes again coming through when the chips are on the table, and Yoenis Céspedes, the defending champ, is still alive. So to recap round 1, the American League was paced by team captain Jose Bautista with 10 home runs as he earns the automatic bye into the 3rd round. And doing battle in round number 2 will be Adam Jones and Yoenis Céspedes. In the NL, meanwhile, it was Giancarlo Stanton's 6 home runs to earn him a bye into the 3rd round. And moving on to the 2nd round to do battle head-to-head will be team captain Troy Tulowitzki and Todd Frazier. So it's Todd Frazier who kicks things off in the 2nd round, just as he did in the 1st round. But after only hitting 1 homer through his first 5 outs, Frazier really heats up, at one point belting 4 homers in a row, finishing with 6 overall, the longest going 415 feet. Yeah, baby. So a tough act to follow for the NL captain Troy Tulowitzki, but he could not find his stroke in the 2nd round, only belting 2 home runs. He is eliminated, and it's Todd Frazier of the Reds who's moving on to the 3rd round. On the AL side of things, Yoenis Céspedes is still a defending champion, only getting stronger as the night goes on. Céspedes, 9 second-round homers, the longest going 416 feet. So Adam Jones of the O's, a lot of work to do in his 2nd round, but down to his final out, only 3 home runs. He hooks this one foul, and it's Yoenis Céspedes who's moving on to take on AL captain Jose Bautista in the 3rd round, as Bautista received the 2nd round bye. On the NL side of things, meanwhile, Todd Frazier moving on to the 3rd round as he faces the NL 2nd round bye recipient, Giancarlo Stanton of the Marlins. So it's Todd Frazier, who begins the 3rd round now. But Frazier going a bit cold in this round. He only puts 1 into the seats, and surely that 1 home run is not going to be nearly enough to get past Giancarlo Stanton, right? Well, never say never. Stanton all smiles before he heads to the batter's box, but once he got there, the smiles and the power would mysteriously disappear. Stanton with 4 outs sends this one high and deep, but it scrapes the wall as it fails to clear. And now Giancarlo down to his final out, and there it is, a shocking over for Stanton. He is eliminated. Todd Frazier is moving on to the finals. On the AL side of things, the defending champion continues to rake. Yoenis Céspedes putting on another show in the 3rd round. This is 3rd home run, a projected 504 feet. And then his 7th and final homer of the round, another majestic blast, a projected 447 feet. Yoenis Céspedes getting it done, and the ace slugger is clearly all business. So Jose Bautista, fresh off his 2nd round bye with some work to do. He needs 3 to tie Céspedes, but Joey Bats would come up a little bit short as his derby is now over, and Yoenis Céspedes advancing to the finals for the 2nd straight year as he looks to become just the 2nd ever back-to-back champion of the Home Run Derby and just the 3rd multi-time winner of the event. Todd Frazier of the Reds is looking to spoil the party. Even with the raindrops falling upon Target Field, there was simply no cooling off the red-hot bat of Yoenis Céspedes.
Yeah, I don't think he's cooling off anytime soon. Into the rain clouds and is back and gone. Man, oh man, is this a show.
Even his ace teammates are in disbelief. And then his 7th home run of the finals, the longest official home run of the night. 452 feet and a projected 509. Yoenis Céspedes simply putting on a home run hitting clinic. And then his 9th homer of the round goes only 381 feet. You got to figure he's a little fatigued at this point. That was the final long ball for Céspedes in the finals, as Todd Frazier has quite the uphill battle, and he had to have known his fate was sealed before he ever took his first swing. Frazier has no homers through his first 5 outs. Finally does get one here, traveling 393 feet, but for Frazier, it was far too little, far too late.
And a great effort from Todd Frazier, but for the 2nd straight year, Yoenis Céspedes of the Oakland A's has won the Gillette Home Run Derby.
And already talk of a three-peat in 2015, perhaps. Time will tell. Céspedes raising the trophy and the prestigious WWE World Heavyweight Championship belt. Yoenis Céspedes becomes the first player to repeat as Home Run Derby champ since Ken Griffey Jr. back in 1999. He's also the 3rd player to win multiple Home Run Derby titles, joining Griffey Jr., who won 3, and Prince Fielder. The ace slugger belted a total of 30 homers on the night, including the longest official actual blast at 452. Meanwhile, the longest projected blast belonged to Giancarlo Stanton with a first-round shot of 510 feet.